I'm live, I hope. Welcome to Supercharged Fridays. This is the 3 year edition. We've been live for 3 years. Insane how quickly time flies. What were you doing 3 years ago? What are you doing today? What's changed? If you have kids, my gosh, look at their age back then. Look at their age now. Look at yourself. I was 41, I'm 44 now. Wow. So, yeah, we're going to do a mix of couple of things. If you're live and you're watching, hi, join the party. We're going to do a kind of a, marking the occasion. I don't want to say celebration. It's turbulent times in the world we live in today, with lots of bad news, very little good news, but nevertheless, right? It's a milestone that I wanted to mark together because it was literally this Friday that I started. So I thought that would be fun. But at the same time, if you have career challenges and need any help, feel free to jump in and ask, and I'll do my best to help you. So hopefully everything is working as it should. I'm on my phone, I'm not on the desktop. So let me know you can hear me and see me properly and things are working as they should. Yes, everything is okay. Is the audio okay? Can you hear me properly? Because I know you can see me, but hopefully you can hear me properly. Thank you for tuning in. How's everyone doing? Drop in and say hi. Hi, Christine. Good morning to you. Hey, Risto, in a very sunny Finland, I am sure. Thank you for tuning in all the way from Brazil. How awesome is that? Hola, Antonio. How are you? Obrigada. Obrigada for being here. Amazing. We have India in the house. We have the United States. If you're new and we haven't met before, where are you tuning in? Let me know. I think that's very exciting. Amazing what this tech can do. How awesome is that? So everything is working as it should. Thank you, Christine. I really appreciate it. All right. Good morning. Hey, Roger. Lovely. Fantastic. So good that everything is working. So yeah, I mean, let's talk about, like, if you have career questions, that would be like the meat and potatoes of today, so that this is worth your while. At the same time, if you don't have questions and if you've been thinking about doing something new, for example, if you've been thinking of, starting like a YouTube channel or a podcast or doing more public speaking, something that is slightly on the edge of your usual, familiar comfort zone. If this is what you would like to do more of in 2023, I thought I'd share some tips because I have a little bit of experience of making some of those mistakes as well. Fantastic. Lovely to see you guys. Hey, we have Germany. Hi, Yogesh. Good. So I thought I'd share some of those learnings. If you're here for the first time, welcome. This is the happy hour. I've been live every Friday since 2020, 3 year anniversary. If this is your first time, you're like, what is going on? 3 year anniversary. Yeah. 3 years is 157 episodes. So that's a lot. That's a lot. So this is a little bit different from the usual. Let's talk about 3 learnings of these live streams from 3 years. And if you stick around till the end, I'll share a bonus too as well. But in the meantime, obviously, I'll make sure I answer your questions. It's going to be a little bit of a mix. And I'll also make sure that I answer. Let me do one thing. I think for the sake of continuity, would you mind if you have questions, career-related questions, let me finish these learnings, if you could be so kind and wait till the end, because maybe later if I want to repurpose this, it'll be easier from an editing point of view. All right, I promise I will get back to the questions. Okay, let's start with some learnings. If you want to do, like I said, if you're just tuning in, if you want to start a YouTube channel, if you want to start a podcast, you want to do something which is a little bit out of your comfort zone, maybe some learnings of mine can help you. Maybe they can't, but it can't hurt to try. It can't hurt to I mean, the fact that you're here is amazing. The hardest thing, it's the hardest thing to start. It's the start. Once you start, does it get harder? I'm not sure. Then you see that's very related to the second one, but I don't like to like cliche it, like just do it, Nike. But at the same time, obviously you prepare, get organized. If you need to start a podcast, what do you need to do? What are the critical success factors, right? What are the things without which it is not going to happen? You need no needle movers. Obviously, I'm not saying just do it, follow your passion. Please don't take blind advice like that. If you want to start a podcast, what do you need? You need podcast artwork. You need a topic. You need a podcast name. You need guests. you need a bit of a planning. How frequently are you going to really, all of that, get that organized, and then you push publish. Because I had someone reach out to me recently and she said, I'm starting a podcast, can you listen to the first episode? It's only 15 minutes. I don't know this person very well, but I did tell her one thing and she was very grateful for it. I said, you know what, how long is your episode? She said 15 minutes. And I said, is it ready? She said yes. I said, my advice would be just do it. She did it. She published. She said, oh my God, I feel so amazing. I did it. I can't believe I listened to you. But, and then, it was a bit of a, like, she's asking me, she doesn't know me very well. And she's asking me to listen. I did listen. And I had some feedback, which I thought would help her. And she was very grateful for it. But if she hadn't published, I wouldn't have shared it. So when you put yourself out there, you're going to get better. You're going to get better all the time. So, amazing. The second learning is that thing you want to do, not sure you want to do it, a little uncomfortable, it's a little scary. You got everything you need. You got everything you need. I'm live streaming from my phone. I have live streamed from my phone a lot this past year. I've been a little bit mobile, was in India for 9 weeks, traveled a bit, just, is it perfect? No. Background could be better. I had like crazy winds in Cornwall. It was an insane storm. If you really want to do it, it's okay. It's not, once you get into it, once you get into the groove of it, it's harder to stop. It's easier to just keep going because remember, what is that? An object in motion will stay in motion once you have that momentum. So you have everything you need today. This is the second learning. The third learning related to what we said earlier is, if in case you're curious and in case we have not known each other a while, I'm going to link, because I found it, I'm going to link my first ever live stream. I don't care how embarrassing it is. I don't care. I was so nervous. I was shaking. My hand was shaking. My voice is quivery. It is extremely awkward and cringeworthy. I'm not saying I'm great today. I have a lot to learn. I mean, come on. And that's one of the points. Learning never stops. But I just wanted to show it to you so that you believe how cringeworthy it was. And this was back in the day when you could not read comments on screen. You would be live on the desktop. There was no mobile live. You were live on the desktop and you would see a comment on your phone. And then you would read out the comments. I would be like, it would take a very long time for the comment to come. So there was awkward silence, a lot of awkward silence. So who cares? Because I did it again and then I did it again, right? The first time I did this, like I said, I was uncomfortable. I was nervous. I was shaking, and someone reached out to me that I know. I didn't know them very well, but we had interacted. We were in a cohort. We were learning, and she said, "Why don't you do this instead? And why don't you do the questions in this way?" And someone else reached out and said, "Why don't you move your hair and you do this with your hair and it's going to look better?" Now, listen, be very careful where you get advice and where you get feedback from. Rumi said, and I love this quote, be careful who you take advice from, because never take advice from, if you're setting out on a journey, never take advice from someone who's never left their house. I'm paraphrasing. So they've never been in front of a camera. They don't know what it's like, particularly live. The energy that comes from live, the mistakes are happening in real time. Okay? So only take advice from someone who's 2 or 3 steps ahead. This is what I would recommend. If you're podcasting, don't listen to someone who's never, ever done a podcast, please. I know maybe it's a controversial opinion. It's my opinion, and it has served me. Because you're going to get all kinds of advice. It's so easy. Advice is cheap. Execution is hard. So awesome. Thank you for being here, guys. Amazing. I'm grateful that you're here. And yeah, I mean, it's not the same. It's, I always say, I mean, I'm always so grateful to even one person who shows up, because the first time I was like, oh, I'm not sure how many will show up, because you don't want to talk to yourself. It's not the same. The other quick learning is related to what I said earlier about having everything you need. In a world where you can get all kinds of fancy stuff, I can bring in a production team and have a professional intro and outro. I've seen people do that. I've seen career coaches who started 2 years after me doing that, and they're crushing it. They're doing it so well. It's just not for me right now. I don't want to think about the budget of hiring someone. I don't want to, get fancy. I don't want to. I'm more about the meat. Is that right? Is that wrong? No, it depends on you. So when we're starting out, we tend to think of the best case scenario. I'm still not in the best case scenario. I'm using a phone to do my live stream, for crying out loud. I still do YouTube videos with my phone. I think substance matters more than style. I think substance matters more than style. Like I said, these are my learnings. These are not the only learnings out there. And I said three. I said I would share three, but I've already shared, I think, four. And the last one I want to share, I want to just give this bonus to you because you showed up live. Learning is a lifestyle. It's not a one-time thing. It's a lifestyle. And I think when you have curiosity, oh, but why? But how? Where did you do that? How did you do that? When did you start? All question after question after question. When you have curiosity, it helps that lifestyle to thrive. So when something is new, you want to start the podcast, you want to start the YouTube channel, you want to do public speaking, you want to do anything, please put it in the comments if this is making sense. Is this making sense? Give me a like, share this with a friend. Am I resonating with what you have in mind? Is there something you want to start? Is there a project? If you feel comfortable, if you showed up here, you're amazing. We're part of a community. #Supercharge Friday. Is there something you want to start in 2023 and you haven't quite mustered up the courage? Maybe just put it in the comments and let's encourage each other and make it happen. Because why not? We got one life, man. Let's live it. So I'm going to now get into the questions, but a quick recap of what I shared in terms of, there are many people who are really successful. So I can definitely get better. But these are just some learnings that I have personally experienced that have helped me to keep going without missing a heartbeat every single Friday. So it's my favorite day of the week, always has been, now even more so. The hardest thing is to get started. Actually, once you start, it's not that hard. So just the first step, right? What is that expression? The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. The second thing is you have everything you need to start today. You've got everything. You got this. You're not 6 feet under. You got everything you need. In a world of fancy equipment, fancy this, fancy that, simple still is powerful. Be careful of advice. Remember the Rumi quote, never take advice from someone. When you're out on a journey, never take advice from someone who's never left home. And finally, on that journey, learning is a lifestyle. It's not a one-time thing. It's not something you schedule in your calendar. It is something that happens. It's like taking a shower. You do it every day. Motivation is like taking a shower. You need to get it every day. It's not a one-time thing. I've helped, I can't remember, I think dozens of people to start their own live streams, whether it was helping with their tech, not that I'm a tech person, but I knew this particular platform a little bit more than a complete beginner, let's say. And it's been so satisfying. It's so satisfying. We're just more connected than we think we are. And there's something about the energy of being live. All right. Thank you for listening. I'm going to now get into your questions. If you have specific questions about career-related stuff, I'm going to have sometime in the next week or so. I'm not sure about the exact date. Jennifer Brick is a friend of mine. She's a career coach in New York, and she has just come out with a book called The Career Glow Up. I think I mentioned her a couple of weeks ago. And we are going to be live and we're going to share something from that book, because it'll be, she's literally extracted from her brain all her knowledge and put it into this book. So that's going to be an amazing session to look forward to. And in the meantime, I saw a question and I'm going to get into the question. Hi, LinkedIn user. Is there any typical length to a personal sabbatical? No, my dear. Every person is different. It could be like some people think a month is a sabbatical, and I'm like, well, it could be 6 months. It could be a year. It could be 2. It could be 3. It depends on your own circumstances and the reason for taking the sabbatical, right? For some, it's about a journey on higher education. For some, it's about just spending a lot of quality time and quantity time with their family. Could be something. Could be a learning journey. Could be anything. So that, I think, determines on. So I don't think there's any good, bad, or typical length. Awesome. Love you guys for being here. Perseverance is key even when you're nervous. You're very true. Very true. I love that quote by Rumi. Thank you so much, Meenakshi. That is so kind. Janani, did I say that right? Janani. This is the only thing I've been consistent with. Don't get too impressed. I'm not super consistent with anything. Now, this I think is a very interesting learning. Is it because I said publicly that I would be live and now I'm live? When I make promises to myself, sometimes I break them. But this one, as far as I've had a broken foot going to X-ray, like literally the foot was like that, fractured, and I was live streaming in pain. So I've had COVID, I've been isolated, birthday, New Year's Day, Christmas Day. Why? Maybe because it was that it's not like someone's waiting for me because they're not. But I think maybe one person, maybe this can help one person today. When more than one shows up, it's a bonus. Frankly, it's a cherry on the cake. But expectations are usually quite low. I hope you like that, Meenakshi. I literally thought of that today. Organic thank you, appreciate that. Feel free to ask your questions. Substance over style, yeah, I don't know if it should be everyone's USP. It is definitely mine. Style is nice, if you can, it's nice. I think after a while you can do that, but you don't have to worry about it right in the front. Have you noticed sometimes when people are starting something best of the best and then it fizzles? It's opposite is easier. Start with simple. You can complicate it later. You can complexify and make it very fancy later. Learning is compounding. That's very true, Risto. You are a great example of that. So appreciate that. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you. So if there are no questions, I'm going to sign off because I have now. One promise that I made myself was I'd be more regular with YouTube. So I'm going to shoot a YouTube video today. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. I can check them out. But thank you for being here. This might be one of the shortest lives I've done. I think 16 minutes. I'm impressed because I think when I get into that train, when I get into the talking sonal train, it's a little hard to stop that train. But today did a decent job. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you guys. I shall see you at the same time next week on Supercharged Fridays. Enjoy your Friday and your weekend.